New York.
Recording, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and Merry Christmas and Happy Christmas and wonderful holiday to everyone. It's the John Lavenia Success Mastermind. I'm your guy today, Glen Henderson, and it is Christmas time. So the housekeeping, somebody's may need to help me out with this, because we know that a number of things have been postponed and moved backwards and forwards in our holiday celebrations. So what I'm going to advise us to do is check the website and make sure that you are up to date on which I know that for my part, the my own session network marketing, a networking magic, I should say, networking magic is going to appear next in 2021, if you know what I mean. We're going to kick off the year real strong. Adrian was sharing some of the things that he's been doing regarding reaching out and taking care of people close to him, and we're going to talk a lot more about that. Who do I see here? It's Lieutenant Colonel Mark is there. Coral, nice to see you from all the way over. Daisy and Lynn and the Llama King and the Laughing Irishman. How do you do, Bill and Evelyn, Nikki? Ace, what's up? Motorcycle, he just had a birthday, didn't you, Ace? Yeah, and Khaled, assalamu alaikum, and Suzanne, good to see you. Robin, and of course, she who must not sleep. VA is with us.
Who must not sleep now.
And Neil and Jane, look at that. I'll tell you what, so glad to see all of you all today. And here's what we're going to talk about today. I'm only going to run my mouth for a couple of minutes because I want to hear from all of us today. Here's what's going on. Oh my goodness, Lord knows we've had enough bad news this year, don't you think? It's been a topsy-turvy, wild and crazy year with this, that, and the other going on, health stuff and government stuff and politics and all the other jive and, downturns of fate and fortune in each one of our lives. And Paula and I were talking about this, and here's what I'd like us to do today as we come into the 2-3 days of Christmas Eve and Christmas and Boxing Day and rolling through into New Year's Eve and the start of the start really rolling hard into the roaring 20s, because I do believe that we have launched into the roaring 20s. There is going to be an explosion of great health and great success for each and every one of us. We have spent these last months here in the mastermind that our dear friend and leader John has created for us, and created this space for us to prepare ourselves for what we've got coming in 2021. And what we've got coming is increase and growth and success like none of us has ever experienced. And John said it the other day, right? Anybody heard what John said? Start 2021 right now, right? Because I don't know about you, but I would love, in fact, I intend to hit the ground sprinting on January 1st. You hearing what I'm saying? So here's what we're going to do. Here's the only ground rule for today. No bad news. I don't want to hear nothing about no virus and no lockdown and no controversy and no government BS, nothing. And let's take some time today and express, each of us, our own personal good tidings of great joy. John, there's your topic for today. Good tidings of great joy. You got your wings jar handy? Check it out. A brother don't preach what he don't practice. You know what I mean? So let me share. I'm going to start by sharing a couple of mine. In the first place, I have a wonderful wife who absolutely loves me and supports and backs me up 1,000%. Anybody else got somebody in your life that loves you and has got your back every day of the week and twice on Sunday? At least one person. Everybody's got at least one person. I know for a fact that every one of us has got at least one person. Why? Because you're in the John Lavenia Success Mastermind. That's why. So you've got somebody. You got a whole bunch of people. And Stuart has got an army of llamas backing his ass up, which is cool. So, and I'm going to go on with a couple more of mine. Gather yours, make a note, jot down a couple of things you'd like to mention. Number one, I'm going to remind myself of a story that I saw play out with my dad. May he rest in peace. God rest his soul. When Dad turned 65, he very much, he and Mom very much involved in the church and everything. So they stopped the service. Oh, hey, happy 65th birthday, right? And the pastor says, well, Otis, how does it feel to officially be a senior citizen? Dad didn't miss a beat, said better than the alternative. So here's another win for me. Thank God I'm vertical. I'm on this side of the permafrost. And every day out of bed, swing my feet over, hit the floor, start moving. It's a blessing, isn't it, Lindsay? Every single day. And guess what else? And I may end up getting a little emotional with this one. This morning, yesterday and today, saw the culmination, or should I say the next step, in a journey I've been on for 50 years. The book is live. It's up for sale, Kindle and paperback on Amazon. All I need to know about success I learned from Star Trek. If it's all right with you, John, I'm going to drop the link here in the chat so that everybody can go and have a look and check it out. There you go. And it's selling already, which is great. Somebody wants a reading. Stuart, you know what? This was the final manuscript before I submitted it for editing. Y'all want to hear a little bit of it? Is it okay? Is that all right? Okay, let's go. Let me see. Let's start right on front, chapter 1. Oh, and by the way, this book comes with brilliant writing, not my own, beginning with the foreword by a name you may recognize, the man, the myth, the legend, the Godzilla of personal growth. John Lavenia himself wrote the foreword for me. Here you go. And the preface is written by a great friend of mine named Todd Falcone, fantastic marketer and everything else. Here we go. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man, where no one has gone before. For more than half a century, these words have been ringing in the ears and thrilling the hearts of Star Trek fans around the planet. In fact, probably fair to say that most Trek devotees could quote the mission of the Starship Enterprise from memory immediately after being awakened from a deep sleep. Am I right, Mark? Yes, indeed. But what do these words really mean? Are they anything more than just a cute opening line to a popular old TV show? Do they have any application in real life? And most importantly, for this conversation, what do they mean, or what could they mean to someone seeking true success in their own life and work? And I'm going to jump up ahead a little bit. We understand, as do James T. Kirk, Jean-Luc Picard, Benjamin Sisko, Catherine Janeway, and all the captains and commanders and intrepid spacefaring souls of the Star Trek universe understand. One, eternal, unchanging, exhilarating truth. Beyond what you can see right now, beyond what you can understand at this moment, beyond the outermost limits of your comfort zone, there is a vast galaxy of knowledge, of achievement, of human connection, and of triumph over fear and misunderstanding and obstacles and anything else that stands between you and reaching your life's goals. But with apologies to Lao Tse, the journey of 1,000 light years begins with a single step. Well, there you go. And for the rest of it, and that I accomplished this year. Thank God. And thanks to the help of my friend John and my editor and publisher, Suzanne Doyle Ingram, and everybody else, I'm so thrilled. And in connection with that, I was recently interviewed on TV, Now Media, TV and radio. So there's a win. It's been an absolutely amazing year. So much going on. I have seen increase and movement and advancement in my business. And I have been privileged to hook up with all of you crazy folks here in the mastermind. And we are growing and building each other toward a future which we cannot even imagine at this moment. As big as you can dream, and I mean that, as big as you can dream your future, you ain't seen nothing yet. Can I get an amen? And you know
Amen.
what? I'm going to shut up because I want to see you put your hand up and pull out your wins jar and celebrate. Now, the rule is this. Again, all good news, all wins, all joy. Somebody tell me something. Therese, how are you doing? Go for it.
Hi, Glenn. How are you? Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Being such a huge inspiration along with the rest of the group. Yeah, what an amazing year, right? I'm sending lots of positivity out into the ethers for all of those that have had a more challenging year than myself. I feel grateful for my health. I feel grateful for the group. I feel grateful for all the strides. And today, my second product went live, and I wasn't even, it's almost a week early. It wasn't supposed to come until January. So I'm unprepared. My listing is, like it's I don't have all the bullet points yet. I don't have the right photos yet. My photos aren't refined. We're waiting for the second refinement. And anyway, so again, there you go. You got to have your feet on the ground. You got to, be standing up tall, shining light through the crown of your head up, and just receive it. Whatever. I'm not, a year ago, I might've been totally flipped out and freaked out and scrambling, but you know what? I feel so much joy and I feel so prepared. I've got a checklist of things to accomplish this morning. Holiday festivities have started with my family. We made cookies yesterday afternoon, and we had a nice, movie night. And while it's a small group of us, again, it's all win. I've read more books this year than I've probably read in 10 years total. So that's a really great win. And while I don't have my jar, I started my jar back at in the beginning, and then I moved, and then everything kind of went south. But thank you. Yeah, that's just a few wins. I mean,
love it. Thank you, Therese. Thank you. You know what it reminded me of? You know what just came up for me as you were speaking? And by the way, congratulations on your product going live. You know what I was reminded of? John, how is it you spell perfect again? Oh, right. DONE. Excellent. Well done, Therese. Love it. It's time to hear from the Laughing Irishman. Bill McDonald, what's happening, sir?
Brother, and I feel honored to be able to say that to you. And I mean that because
my brother from another mother.
You are an absolute inspiration, Glen, and you brighten the world just by being there. You only have to turn up. unlike all those of us that have to work at it. A win for me was yesterday. I took myself out to a restaurant. We're about to go into full lockdown, but there was three of us, me, myself, and I.
Sounds like a nice group.
Yeah, and I have the psychiatrist report to confirm that. But I started writing again. I got back into my book. I'm writing a novel, and I have left it alone for about 6 months and done nothing. And basically sitting watching the world go by outside the window of the restaurant. I just sat and wrote and wrote. When I initially booked the restaurant, they said, "Oh, sorry, it's going to be really busy, obviously because of lesser tables, etc. And we'll have to set you on a bar stool up by the kitchen." And I said, "That's fine. I'm there for the food. I'm not there to, put myself on show." But when I arrived, it turned out that I knew one of the waitresses from a previous restaurant, so she had put me on a front seat by the window to watch the world go by because she knew what I liked doing, and they gave me the table for the entire evening. And that might sound like a simple win, but it was a huge win to me. And I can tell you, I wrote about 5 or 6 pages, just flowed, which it hasn't done for quite some time. And I'm just grateful that that occurred. And to me, that's one of the best wins I've had for quite a while. So thank you.
Table, love it. A table for the evening. And you got into flow. Doesn't it feel good to be back in motion?
Yeah, you bet it does, brother. You bet it does. It was
Absolutely.
awesome. It was like all the words just kept flowing out of the ends of my hands, and I thought, wow, this is fantastic.
I heard a saying once. It's certainly apocryphal, and I'm watching for the lightning strike. But I once heard somebody say, God himself cannot steer a parked car.
Like it.
Thank you, Bill. Love it, man. Love it. Man, I'm looking forward to buying your book when you're done and it's out there. Oh, ladies and gents, the genius who started it all. John, hello, my friend.
Arguable genius. Hey, I just bought something on Amazon. That's what I just did.
What?
I did.
My man.
I just bought myself a Christmas present. So there's that. And I would say I'd read it today, but I already read it and I wrote the forward. There it is. So
Thank you,
good
John.
stuff. Well done, Glenn. Be sure to post a link in our Facebook group, and we'll tag it as members products, which is a tag in our Facebook group. For those of you who have been in our Facebook group recently, you'll notice that we have a members products tag. So you can just grab all our members products and just click buy. So, sharing a win, getting through this year, I think we talked about this on Monday, getting through this year and still being here, right, is, I think, validation enough, that it's like you mentioned, was it your grandfather, has a feel to be a senior citizen? Well, better than the alternative. So look, there's a lot of people who will succumb to circumstances. And I'd say my biggest win from this year is not doing so. And not that I'm, very forthcoming and constantly talking about, my problems and certainly not seeking sympathy, right? I don't know that I suppose there's some value in getting sympathy. I don't know. I'd rather get results, but yeah, I've had some interesting happenings in the past year and a half, really. And I can tell you one thing that I'm grateful for. I could tell you a bunch of things, but one thing which I think is pretty obvious to everyone is that my wife's still with me. So, getting through stage 3 breast cancer, double mastectomy, chemo, radiation, reconstruction surgery. Yeah, there's that, right? Interestingly, we had 2 friends that I know of anyway, 2 friends, longtime friends, didn't make it this year, right? So that's interesting, right? To take for granted, I think, like I'm immortal, man. I'm just gonna I'll be doing this forever, right? I could piss away time like I'm immortal because there's no off switch on me. Well, guess what, right? So I'm also grateful for the recognition. And I know people have dealt with, not just me, but a lot of people have dealt with mortality. And I got a reminder, because this is good news, right? So the good news is the reminder that, part of this whole experience, this illusion, this incarnation, this whatever we're doing here, part of it is the temporal nature of it, right? So you don't get to just have all the wins and not the loses too, right? So just getting with that. And like I shared on Monday, just having the wherewithal more often than not to sit and put things in perspective. Like, how big of a deal are my problems really? How big of a deal is this speck on a speck floating through space? How big are those problems? So thank you, Glenn, and thank you everyone who participates in this mission of bringing the conversation of success to an ever expanding audience. And I'd say one of my biggest products of this year was the coming together of this group in the incarnation that it is now, right? I mean, we've been hosting, Glenn, you've been hanging around with us for years, right? We've been having these conversations for a while, but now we've got a forum to do it with no third party. Oh, we're pulling the plug. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, we're doing that. And I'll tell you what we're doing. Here's what we're doing, right? So thank goodness for this group. Back to you, sir. May the force be with you. It's funny. I said that in the forward. Forward. Yeah, everybody read the forward. You'll see how I ended.
You're allowed to say that.
Oh, am I allowed to say that? Whatever.
You may get phasered out of existence there, Lavenia. Love it. Right. And this is, you remind me, John, that many times the biggest win is forward motion. The biggest win is overcoming. Just the fact that we are still here, and not just still here. Yeah, still here, still struggling, but we are still here and we've overcome 2020. Not everyone can say that. We can. Love to hear from, the Marine. Lieutenant Colonel, what's happening, sir?
Best believe it there, brother. Yeah, what they say, once a Marine, always a Marine, right?
What is it? Adapt, improvise, adapt, overcome?
Overcome. There you go. So I'm going to be a little bit all over the map. I'll do my best to keep this as short as possible. A couple of very small wins, and nobody really knows this here. I've mentioned it just a couple times, but the last couple of days I turned to, and I know we have at least one Filipina in this group here. I made the best pork adobo I have ever made yesterday. I mean, I did the taste test, the QA check. So Sonia goes up there and I bring a little spoon over to her, and I'm, we're just waiting, and she sips, she goes like, I saw those eyes light up, and I just went like, oh my gosh, that, yeah. And she said, that is amazing. And I said, win. So there's a win. And there's still a little bit left. And I took some to the office this morning for the rest of the staff. So that was a great win. And then along with that, I had made some shrimp Alfredo fettuccine. I like doing my cooking and doing that for people. So that's just, so if and when we ever get together and we're having a little contest and we're doing a potluck or whatever, just let me know. I like, there's a bunch of different dishes I like making. So that's a little something to know what I like to do on the side. I like to, and the great thing about eating and being around people is, when we're eating and we're talking, people are happy, and it's great when they see, when you get to see that. I guess that's one of the things that kind of makes, that gives me a rush. Simple as it is, it does. I like it. Just to everybody know, the survey's coming. Julia has put the initial comments together, and Sandy and Mandy, and I get a chance to take a brief look, but that's coming your way. So a heads up. And it looks good. So for 2021, we weren't kidding around. I think we're really looking at doing something, no matter how simplistic or major it becomes. And everybody's going to get a fair shake at taking a look at this and voicing your opinions. So everybody is on the docket to give us your feedback. So thank you very much. And beautiful. The last thing I'll say, John, I want to just give everybody here, I want to give my prayers and my blessings to everybody in this group, because what I've gone through in this past year has been a transformation for me. And it's because of everybody here. Tomorrow morning, I am going to lead a general session, and it's going to be more of what we're doing here. It's going to be based around this, and then forward-looking, positive as you want, John. Gratitude is, bring your A game, be prepared to just, discuss these kind of things. I think we really need to have a lot of gratitude with, as serious as some things have happened in our relative, our own personal worlds. There are so many great things that we are still, even on the precipice of even discovering. And I think it is this venue that it's at least given me so much. I don't even want to use the word hope anymore. I now want to use the word, intent. And if I do that, it's probably because I'm still in that, I'm still trying to change those words. I'm still in that transition, John. Forgive me, please. I'm working through that. But, having intent, having purpose, having focus, and wanting to see the end result and believing in that, visualizing. I still more and more I'm waking up at 3:30 to 4:30 in the morning sometimes, and I can't get back to sleep because I'm just doing all these visualizations about what's what I walking on stage, being with my new family here, the things that I see really literally happening in my life and us as a group. It's just I never had those kind of things. I don't remember that kind of stuff before. So something has happened to me. Something really transformational has happened to me over this life. It must be. There's no coincidence here. It must be this group because this was not a part of my life prior to this. And I just can't thank everybody here enough. I give praise and gratitude to every single person in this group, and thank you for your leadership, John. Can't thank you enough there, brother. You're a godsend to me, man. Thanks.
Thank you, Mark. Show me who you hang around with, and I'll show you who you are. Love it. Love it. That word that you mentioned, that word that you used, Mark, transformation. Anybody else? Anybody else thinking transformation? 2020 mastermind? Your boy, for sure. Transformation. Love it. Love it. We got Sandy and then Star and Bill. How are you, Sandy?
I'm fantastic, and I hope everyone else is too. Now, I want to reiterate what Mark just said because it's many of my own feelings. But here's a crazy ass win.
We love crazy ass wins around here.
It really is. For about 3 days earlier this week, I experienced vertigo. And I thought, okay, well, it could be just inner ear, or I could have a brain tumor, but we'll figure it out. So what I discovered was I have been wearing an earpiece on these calls and throughout my daily business and carrying on. And I only wear one in the right ear because I want to be aware of my surroundings as well. And I discovered that one-sided earpiece is changing my balance. And so I don't have a brain tumor. It's just my earpiece that I took out because when I stopped using it, the vertigo went away. So there's my crazy ass win.
Realization. That's really interesting that how it's so possible for our thoughts to get thrown into all kinds of craziness until the paradigm shifts and we realize there's really nothing wrong with me. It's this thing. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that was easy. Occam's razor, right? All things being equal, the simplest answer is usually the right one.
Yes. And I wasn't even worried if there was anything else, but I mean, now I don't even have to see a doctor.
Well, see,
Simple.
so much better now.
It's great to not feel like I'm walking like I'm drunk.
There you go. I love it. I love, a win is a win is a win. Big, small, in between. I'm loving that. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
Star, loving the Christmas colors. What's happening?
Hey everybody. And Sandy, that is absolutely incredible. I wonder if you're the only person that's experienced that with earpods and all everything, you know. I'm wondering if that's happened to other people as well.
Hey,
It's you know, fascinating. Is Bill putting his hand up there? But yeah, fascinating outcome of technology, really, isn't it? And I'm just very glad that you've now found out that that's not a tumor and that you can relax. Oh gosh. So sorry, it distracted me. So Mark's comments about intent rather than hope and planning, and that's exactly how I feel for next year. And I seriously wouldn't be where I am now. I know I haven't been around the last few weeks very much since I moved house, since I've been back at work. But one of the main reasons I haven't been around so much is I've been feeling okay. I've been feeling good. I've been feeling positive, and I've been feeling strong. And the reason I've been feeling all of these things is because of all of you. You know, I've been through some awful things this year, as have many other people. And what's gotten me through and gotten me to a stronger, better place is the support of each and every one of you. I'm still going through little bits of stuff at work, and I'm still, you know, I have spoke to Ivier last week for a little bit of a perspective on a problem that I've got. And, you know, I'm constantly involved with a number of you. A number of those presents under the tree are from members in this group to my lovely daughter Elvie, which I am so grateful for, and so is she. Hi. I have I have so many Christmas cards this year from my lovely friends in this group, and I wish I'd been a bit more organised to do some international posting, which I plan to do at some point soon. But so, what did Mark? You're doing a survey on meeting up, is that right? Well, I've got a my spending plan, my new financial plan for the future, is going to have a fund for travel in it. So I'll be ready whenever we're doing it. Let's go. I can't wait to meet you all. Well, all you on the other side of the, is it the Atlantic? I think so.
on the other side of the pond.
That's the one. Is it the Atlantic, Bill? Stop
Atlantic.
laughing at me. Stop laughing at me.
Well, we're going to get to the Laughing Irishman in a minute.
Anyway, honestly, I don't know where I'd be. I sometimes have recently had a little visualization of what would have happened had I not followed this path and met you all in this last year, and where I would be with having to, all the things I've had to deal with, what I would have been like had I not had the support from this group. And I mean, it doesn't bear thinking about. It really doesn't. You know, if I'd have been struggling along on my own to try and combat all the adversities, as I'm sure a lot of you, and it's just, I get goosebumples just thinking about how much you all mean to me. And I'm just so happy that Shannon is all good, and Shannon came through all her surgeries and all of that serious stuff. I'm so impressed that Glen, you finished your book just in time for Christmas, and obviously Ego did her book, and then we've got Nana's cooking book, and we've got, you know, just, I'm just so impressed with everybody. I'm so happy that Stuart has another outlet to provide a wonderful experience for people, which he so loves doing and is so good at doing, and which he can't do at the moment with his usual llama tours that he's gotten so used to providing for everybody. And now he can come on here and provide for everybody, and we all just love it. And just so happy that Mark's had this incredible transformation, and that Adrian's got company out there on his island on his own. And just so happy that we're all here together, every single one of us, loving you all. Happy Christmas. Mwah.
Thank you. Thank you, Star. I'm impressed with you. So many things you've mentioned. There's a word that that comes to mind every time I think of you, and the word is perseverance. I don't know too many people. I don't know too many people who have the depth of character that you have to stand, that you have shown to stand firm and to keep moving forward this year. Challenge, please. I'm scarred, man.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you.
Oh.
That really means a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Detective McDonald, what say you, sir?
Sadly, brother, I never made detective.
Well, consider it a field promotion.
I solved a few things, but never a detective. Listen, I'm not. Yes, I am here to hug this, but I'm not really. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? I know I can take it straight from you, Glen. I just want to reiterate there what Star was saying about, firstly about the group. I have come through pretty lows, beyond low. As John rightly said earlier, it's an old saying, as there's worse things happen at sea. There's always somebody worse off than you. But each of our own issues are our own issues and are important to us to solve, but we must solve them. And it is through the help of this group that I have certainly solved many of my issues. And I could not do without it. And I mean it most sincerely when I'm watching the chat going there, and it's the smart quips between each other, that keeps me going, that, you get slagged about, or or somebody else just makes a sidebar issue. And that's a really good thing. And John, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't think you realize what you've achieved here. This is not just a mastermind group in the business sense. This is a mastermind group of like-minded people that have come together that can prove more than just business. They can prove humanity. They can improve humanity. They can improve people's lives, which is what your guys are always on telling us. What, if we're here and we can improve people's view, outlook, whatever on this planet, that's what we will achieve. And that will be our greatest win. Sandy, regarding your hearing, I'm seriously deaf in one ear, and that's through shooting firearms from 17-year-old boy soldier to a 93-year-old stupid old cop. It doesn't come cheap. But yeah, you can lose your balance. And obviously a lot of people, or some people here, will realize that we have to wear our earpieces for radio communications for years. That affects you as well. And I find that does affect your balance on occasions. And it stops you concentrating, but it's a balance thing. And you find that sometimes when you rip them out, your focus comes back all of a sudden instead of wobbling all over the place. So Sandy, you're not on your own. I met an old soldier. I was speaking to Star before this call. We had a pre-call call. And I met an old soldier yesterday, old Enniskillen Fusilier, a regiment that no longer exists. And he was hobbling out of the news agents, and I opened the door for him and let him out. And we got chatting outside. He wasn't impressed with COVID or lockdowns. He told me about some pandemic called the Hong Kong flu. He says there wasn't a bloody word said about it. And Mark, you'll maybe appreciate this, but we got chatting about regiments and all the usual guff that you do when you're from that line. And he had his walking stick, and he slapped his left leg with his walking stick, and it was metal. And he says, I lost my leg in the army. I said to him, that was bloody careless. At which point he roared, and he says, thank you. He said, I haven't had a slagging like that for such a long time. And he got what I want. But I was going to do this earlier, and I'm not going to bring a downer on this, but I'm going to read you a very short poem that most of you will know. But I want you to think of this poem, not in the sense of loss. I want you to think of this poem as if you are sitting in an aircraft in the sky, or as a bird in the sky. And you'll all know it. if you just don't know it, I'll be surprised. But it's very short, and I'll tell you who it's by afterwards. Oh, I have slipped the surly bones of earth and danced the skies on laughter silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of, wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long delirious burning blue, I've topped the wind, swept heights with easy grace, where never lark or even eagle flew. And while the silent lifting mind I've trod, the high untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God. That poem is beautiful. That poem can inspire people to realize that they can be as free as a bird, to do as what they want. And that's what this group does. It inspires people to become that free bird and fly high. Thank you, Glenn. I shall shut up now.
I was starting to get tired of your ass there, Bill. Yeah, it's as simple as this, isn't it? We can do anything. And thank you for reminding us of that, Bill, so eloquently and so well. Who wrote that poem, by the way?
Sorry, I apologize. I didn't mean to tell you. That was written by an American Air Force pilot who flew for the Canadian Air Force and flew during the World War II Spitfires for the RAF. And his name was John Gillespie McGee Jr.
Nice. I have to look that up.
That, Glenn.
Beautiful. Thank you. We got Mandy and then our resident Californian. Mandy, how are you? What's happening?
I'm fantastic, thank you. I love that, Bill, and I can really back up everything Bill and Star just said. Here's my wins jar. I've started doing when you said it. I feel like I've had a lot of wins this year. I have had a transformation on this group, and it's amazing. And this is one of the biggest wins is this group. There are so many lovely people here, and you're all so down to earth, and we can just be ourselves. And your book just sounded brilliant. I'm going to have to go and look that up. I've got 2 other wins to say, to put in today, and that is I have finally got a product live on Amazon. After all that time, I finally got one on Amazon. Okay. And thank you to Neil for all his PPC. I've done a PPC campaign in 5 minutes based on Dave, but also what you did right at the beginning when you first did an e-commerce group with Stuart. I read through my notes and I was able to put it straight in, and it's going away now. So thank you for your help on that. It has been brilliant. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Excellent.
Thank you, Glenn.
That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. And in addition to, I just love hearing this, that in addition to the inner game wins that we are all experiencing, we're also selling stuff, which is cool, right? John, I'm sure you'd agree with this. The first questions I'm asking when I'm sharing a product or putting my book out there, the first question, is it serving people? Does it help people? Does it bring increase into people's lives? If the answer is yes, then go ahead and make all the money you want to make. And you know what? I can feel it. I can feel it in my creaky young bones. Every folk in this group are going to be making some serious cash in 2021. Can I get an amen? Serious cash, 2021. We're going to make spectacles of ourselves, John. Yes, sir, Bob. We've got Evelyn. How are you, Evelyn?
Good morning, everybody, and good afternoon and evening. I don't talk a lot, but I'm talking today. I had a small objective for myself, which was I was going to speak up on a call within the week. Maybe some of you don't really know this about me, but I'm pretty introverted and I'm in a group of extroverts. Oh no. But this group, I just wanted to say two things. One is about what this group has done for me in the last year. And the other is about what I'm in the thick of right now, which I know wouldn't have been possible. John, you set the tone for this group. When I first came on this group in April, I haven't heard one note of judgmentalism or snarkiness or any of that. Nothing negative. It's just been pure love. And John, that's because of you. And these are the kind of people that you attract. You've really changed my life. Okay, I already shed a tear when Bill was talking. So I thought I had that out of my system, but you know, John, I can't even put it into words how you changed my life this year for the better. Some of you know that when I came on this call, I was in April, when I was still recovering from a stress incident. I had to leave my career as a teacher. I was a high school teacher for 27 years, and I left that career due to stress. It was just kind of a cumulative thing that just reached a toxic point. And I think I've spent, thanks Star said she remembers. I think it took me a year to to really recover. And part of it, you know, for me, it was mental, it was psychological, post-traumatic stuff. But also just as much of that, probably more, was the physical. You know, I think it was you, Glenn, that said that no, it was Cyril that said, your body first whispers to you and then it talks to you and says, hey, slow down. And then it screams at you and then it dies or whatever. But my body was screaming at me last October, a year and some months ago. And it's taken a year to get physically back. Here's one of the things that this group has done in my physical recuperation that may not be the obvious thing. It's gotten me into a really healthy routine in the morning. For me, this call comes on at 9 o'clock. And I've got, first of all, one of the healthiest things I did was in July, I have 2 dogs now. And so I have to take care of those dogs in the morning before I get on this call. And that means 2 walks each, because it's hard to get them to walk them both at the same time. So I have to get 2 walks in, and then I feed them, and then I have to get 2 walks again, and then I get on my call. And if I don't get all that done, then I'm still walking dogs on my call. And what that's done for me is it's helped me recover physically, because that walking is my main exercise, and it's helped me recover. And I just know that with this lockdown, if I hadn't had that forced exercise and getting the call at the same time, you know, I wouldn't have been in the great place that I am right now. It's just easy for me to just, like John says, it's just as easy not to do something positive for yourself. But so that, oh, there she goes. My Sadie is growling at something, and if she barks, I'll have to show her. I love that dog. I'm in love with that dog. And then second thing, okay, I know I'm going on really long. Second thing I've done, thank you, Sonia, for turning me on to the book, The 12-Week Year. I've been deep into it. For me, I've got to go deep into it and get something really thorough, or it just doesn't pay for me. And I spent all day yesterday working out 10-year, 5-year, 3-year goals for my life in general, spiritual, mental, relational, and then really getting deep into my financial goals and really trying to set that out, personal finances and business finances, for as much as I can. And then what I have to do today is work out the 3 years, get down to the 1 year, and work out my next 12 weeks. And this is where my brain is going to have to do some serious discipline on my my tendencies to go into whatever, you know. I love this book because there's so many practical things in there. There's no fluff. He just gets right into it. This is what you have to do to get yourself on a 12-week, and this is what it's going to do for you, and these are the aspects you have to consider. So I would recommend that book to anybody. Anyway, I just wanted to speak out and say that I'm in an incredible place, and this wouldn't have been possible for all of you positive, loving people, and the incredible positivity that I get every single day. That's really helped me. I just hope you know that it's really, really helped me. Like really helped me, even though I haven't, voiced it every day. But now you know. I'm getting some XXX and lots of hugs on the chat. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Evelyn. Wow. Wow. If one life has been improved by being around me, was my life worthwhile?
It's an
We
affirmative.
have evidence right here, my friends. One life has been changed because of this group. Now we're coming down the home stretch here, and I'm going to embarrass somebody, because I know this is a person who absolutely never really speaks out on the call, and we even on those rare occasions they just ain't got nothing good to say ever. So but I'm gonna put him on the spot though. What say you, Mr. Llama King? Stuart, what's happening? Listen, I know it's like pulling teeth to try to get you to say something, but do you want to take a minute and try to collect yourself? And
let me think about that. Yeah, usually I don't have a lot to say. I was giggling when Evelyn said she was an introvert. I still stand on the ground that I'm an extroverted introvert. And Leah laughs at me all the time when I say that. Oh my God, you guys. Yeah, I've been wanting to kind of share some wins. I feel, certain things that I feel really humble about. I don't want to get on, these calls and be like, oh, I sold this much, or I did, and I know that we're all here to support each other, but at the same time, sometimes I feel a little more private and reserved. And maybe I've shared some things with some of you guys individually, but not so much on these calls. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey, 6-8 months in or whatever with the e-com gig. And I think as many of us are starting to experience, like Therese and other people who are just getting products listed, right? We're finally starting to see some momentum, right? And this whole thing that you're talking about starting 2021 early, right? Yesterday, we celebrated the first day of the solar new year. So guess what? It already is the new year, man. Rock and roll, right? Get your head in the game and hit the ground running. And I think for me, the last few weeks have really solidified. We've had some successes and wins. It took us months to get our product listed. Our first product, we had damage issues and shipping delays and all these hurdles and obstacles. And yet, we listed our product within the first few weeks of December. We broke 5K in sales just for our first product, in a few weeks, whatever. So to me, these were revelatory. It was a revelatory experience in terms of reaffirming and reassuring that we're on the right path, and that if we stick with this and kind of lather, rinse, repeat, get a few of these gigs going on. By the way, greatest marketing slogan of all time, right? Lather, rinse, repeat. How do you sell twice as much shampoo? So we've had great wins with stats. I mean, I've been for months watching people share their wins and their successes and on their numbers and all these things. And I really up until very recently hadn't had those kinds of that kind of data, right? Those kinds of stats to share. And so it's been really great for us in terms of that. We set up some PPC campaigns for our product, making ridiculous sales. We went through our first third of our inventory. Now we're like looking at reordering and all these kinds of things. So yeah, in terms of the e-com gig, it's amazing and fantastic. And we're let's say looking forward to next year to really be able to, as many of us remember when we first got on these calls, right? And one of the goals that John was encouraging us to adopt was this replace and surpass in terms of previous income, right? Can you use this to replace your current income and surpass it in order to, achieve financial freedom, right? And for months we were sort of in limbo with this, and I think a lot of people were kind of feeling this as well. And really, just in the last few weeks, we can see how this is going to work for us in the coming year. Neil and I have talked quite a bit about the whole PPC thing and goals, right? And now the goal for next year is profit, right? We kind of feel like we've got the game down in terms of working with the algorithm. Leah's teasing me that I feel like I've beat the Amazon algorithm and things like that. So we're really feeling some good successes with that. On a personal level, man, this whole year has been, challenging in some ways, and just kind of magical in others, right? And I think this concept of us all having coalesced in whatever ways in this group earlier, in the year with the Blue Sky program or whatever it was. Mark and I have talked about how synchronistic maybe is the word that we all joined that Blue Sky program all around the same time, and there was only a very small window where the people that had joined that program were funneled into John's daily calls, and that was only really a few months of that. And the people that joined on before and the people that joined on after didn't have the benefit of being a part of a community like this. So I think, that's a huge win. I'm looking forward to next year. I feel like I'm going to be walking and climbing and hiking and doing all kinds of stuff. I've got surgery in the wings and all that. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, man, I'm feeling really good about 2021. I feel like we've hit the ground running already. To echo what Evelyn was saying about the 12-week year. We're already, yesterday, guys, I was going to do this whole thing on seasonal mindset, and it really just turned into whatever it turned into yesterday. But this concept of, not only connecting with the seasons in our personal development, right, and understanding the cycles of nature and the ebb and flow of the celestial tides and the ebb and flow of our own emotional tides and things like that are connected to the seasons, but we're already looking at like, okay, what are the next big sales days, right? So we're looking like, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, right? So we're really looking forward, thinking several months ahead. For us, even starting to think about Q4 for next year, because in some ways we kind of missed the boat, right? I don't feel so bad about it. It was all, a learning experience or whatever. And at the same time, now we have the understanding of the wheels that we need to set in motion, everything that needs to be put in place for something that's going to take place 6-9 months from now, right? So that's really where I'm at in terms of looking forward. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. I could go on. God bless you guys. Cheers.
It's so wonderful to hear from, thank you, Stuart. So wonderful to hear from people who have their shit together. It's encouraging to me to hear from a guy like Stuart, who has been thinking this stuff through good and hard for a long time and has come up with a plan for increase. Profit, baby. Profit. Love it, my man. And you and I have some conversations coming up too. There you go. Love that. Love. Suzanne, how's the weather in the Swiss land of Swiss people?
Oh, no.
There you are.
Milder than is normal for this time of year. So we're quite lucky. No snow.
Excellent.
I just wanted to quickly say I'm not exactly where I want to be right now, but I'm much further forward being here in this group than I would have been. And it's actually been a very good year for me, as tough as it's been with COVID and not traveling and not seeing friends and family. it's given me more time to get my head down and start to build something I can be proud of and build into something really great. And that's having the support from all of you. And I wish you all from the bottom of my heart a very Merry Christmas. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Suzanne. Boy, you know, heard the preacher say one time, I ain't where I want to be, and I ain't where I'm going to be, but thank God I ain't where I was. Ain't that right? So, hey, I know we're just touching the top of the hour, and unless somebody else has thought burning a hole in the pocket of your mind, I'm going to make a special request to have this conversation closed out by our fearless leader. But before I do that, I'm going to say something to him. John, you've created something here. And I know you know that. And I know you understand the responsibility underlying what you created and what we all sustain. Yeah, this has become our own very personal collective. And if anybody come in here with a negative attitude, we just might as well tell them resistance is futile, because we're going to lift your ass up whether you like it or not. John, you are my brother, man. I love you. We love you. We are so grateful to you for bringing us together in this way. Would you be so kind as to share a remark with us as we go on our way today?
Yeah, I'm going to remark that I'm glad that I got my audio running again. Shannon's running a Zoom in the next room where I was. So that wasn't terribly profound, but thank you, because the results that everyone is getting are profound. And if you don't feel like they're profound, then I think a bit more perspective and a bit wider of a view may be in order. So I honor and validate everyone who's here with us. And Glenn, I know that that what you just accomplished this year, and this year isn't over, we got more time, so we can double dip, right? We can start the year early, we can do whatever we want. We can still say it's 2020. And I think that that sort of autonomy, that sort of self-determinism is the big win that I'm seeing with so many here in this group. Right, manifest in a number of different ways. So, so thank you for putting me on the spot. I always love it when our facilitators do that. And we're going to get together again today, aren't we? We do have
Life and Business Tools.
Yeah, Life and Business Tools with Adrian, and then we're going to wrap up tomorrow with Mark on the general session, and that's it. We're going to go enjoy a holy day. So yeah, thank you, Glenn, and thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you, John. And thank you everyone for joining us and being a part of this family. The John Lavenia Success Mastermind family. A very blessed and merry and happy Christmas to all. God bless us, everyone. We'll see you all very, very soon. Bye for now.